I'm glad Congress isn't making these decisions. So we know that Biden has his social safety package that he's trying to pass. You know, it was somewhere around $3 trillion to start. Well, it's been whittled down, and now paid family leave seems to be falling out of this package that could be passed. It seemed like it was on track until last night. Tempers flared, and the president will head over there today to try to negotiate. But I don't know how this is all going to pan out for people who are going to be really upset that these promises aren't going to be met from the campaign trail.
If there is one thing that I have seen people who never comment on politics talk about, it is this. It's the family leave sort of promise. And I think that that's what a lot of people, or I'm realizing now, their vote was based upon that.
Of course it was.
And this is really, I mean, people that I never see post, or I had no idea how they felt politically, and I really still don't, but they did want this paid family leave situation. It was something that they were holding tight to, that the administration prioritized families and prioritized children and prioritizing, you know, that family bond. And that's not to say that that's not a part of this. I know that there's the pre-K, the free pre-K that is still in the mix, but this is something, man, people are really up in arms
about. And free community college has already fallen off as well. And that was another point of contention. If you get online, people who generally aren't political are saying the future of education could be affordability of community college for so many young people who want to get into the tech sector and don't necessarily need a four-year degree. So what I've also learned, I mean, years of studying political science at the university level and working at ABC News, and I'm now just connecting some dots that literally this can be one person's America. Joe Manchin is the moderate Democrat from West Virginia who is literally the one who keeps pressuring and not going along with the rest of the party. So this is why the president's agenda, I think he felt really confident when he made the campaign promise that he would have the votes with a 50-50 Senate and the vice president with a tie-breaking vote. I think he felt confident he could bring people to the table. But literally, you elect a president, and it could come down to one senator who holds all the power. And in this case, it seems to be Joe Manchin of West Virginia.
There's a little bit of a change in the... And yes, absolutely. I mean, you're right. Yes,
it's crazy, right?
It is crazy. It's going to come down to him. Like, he's getting cookies delivered. He's
getting
everybody's.
The president is elected, and they have an agenda, and they bring people together, and they make things happen, and their legacy depends on it. And now we've got Joe Manchin.
And here we are. The surcharge on the wealthy.
Yeah.
You know, most people aren't making $10 million a year. 25 million a year, right? So we were talking about, it was supposed to be that extra 5% on people who made above $10 million a year. And now it's the additional 3% on those making above 25 million. Because again, the question is, how are we going to pay for this? And it doesn't sound like the Biden administration has an exact sort of pathway to paying for it.
Right.
But we do have those people who are making 25 million a year.
Well, there was the billionaire's tax, which, see, this is where it gets dicey, because we've also had the curtain pulled back on how billionaires in this country manage their money. And they show a relatively modest annual income while their assets and their wealth goes up by the billions. Jeff Bezos comes to mind. Bill Gates comes to mind, although he gives a lot to charity. He wasn't necessarily part of that big investigation that was done by the New York Times. But when you look at that, it's like they find ways legally to not have to pay the kind of income tax. But now, if they were able to tax overall wealth and assets, it would be a very different kind of tax program than what we're up against now.
Totally
and it might pay for some
scenario.
of these things.
Yeah, totally different scenario. So we'll keep you posted. It is, and I mentioned the free pre-K. It does sound like that is a go, which is, I think a lot of people would say, very needed to prepare our students as they are behind after this last year. Parents, we did our best, but the free pre-K sounds like will be a go if this is all passed.
Well, there's going to be a lot in this bill just the same, and I think the president's challenge is going to be touting what about it really impacts Americans and really getting out there and reminding them this isn't in there, but this and this and this is.